What is good, people? Sam O'Reilly, Fight Talk, joined by my brother Craig Scott. Today we're discussing the May 20th Copperbox, Frank Warren, BT Sport, Box Nation show, headlined by Gervonta Davis and Liam Walsh. What do you reckon? Good card?
Yeah, I think it's a decent card. I think the card is okay. It's not stacked. I think when you have someone who is potentially as big a star as Gervonta Davis is, you don't really have to stack a card. I think the Anthony Yard fight is going to turn a lot of heads. I think a lot of people are interested in Anthony Yard. And I think Gervonta Davis is a star. He's a star in boxing, so it'll be very interesting to see how he performs against Walsh, who is by no means a mug. I think he'll probably give a good account of himself. And I think it's a decent card, man. The Copperbox is quite a nice venue as well. I quite like it. Even if you're on those first seated bits a little bit raised, you have a cracking view in there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not in the country for it, but I'll definitely be watching it. It'll be good. What do you think?
I can't remember if I've ever been to the Copperbox.
You went for do you not go for a Groves fight, no?
Groves? Nah, I didn't go for that.
That's where I went. I went for Groves.
He fought Yeah, that's the boy.
Yeah. And it was brilliant. We bought sort of cheap seats, and we were in the front row of the tiered bit, and it was perfect, mate. It was great.
Yeah, I can't remember if that's where they did the Olympics, like the Olympic boxing.
It is.
I went there. I went to the Olympics when it was in London, obviously, and yeah, I remember seeing some big stars. Basically nobody. You remember that? It was like a fucking. It was like a ballot system, and I got nobody I'd ever heard of. So, but yeah, I've digressed a little bit. Let's talk about this show. You know what? You know, looking at the Leicester and the Manchester shows they've done so far, that they've done on BT Sport. I think this is a decent card, man. I do. Let's start at the bottom. You know, there's some good names. Lerone Richards.
Yep.
Lucian Reed.
Yep.
Daniel Dubois.
Yep.
You know, these are three guys that are gonna do good things in the sport. You know, they won't have. I don't imagine they'll have very tough fights. You know, every fight is tough, but you know what I mean. I don't think they're gonna have anyone that's particularly dangerous. They're still all very early on in their careers.
I don't know if every fight is tough, mate. Listen, every fight is tougher than me sitting on my arse talking about them. But I don't know if every fight is tough when you look at, you know, the guy that Dubois fought in his first fight. I know we've talked about it to death. That wasn't a hard fight.
Who, Butterbean?
Yeah, big Butterbean. That wasn't a hard fight. I put a fiver on you beating him. I think Lucian Reed, Lerone Richards are at a stage now where they've had a couple of fights. They're probably looking to kind of show off, and I think they'll probably be given opponents that will make them look good, you know, and that's good. That's what you need. You need to try and establish yourself a little bit, and it's when you're at those early stages, your 5 fights, your 6 fights, or whatever, you have to start establishing your style and putting a stamp on a card a little bit, and not just getting the wins on points. We go to a lot of these small hall shows, and a lot of these guys, we love the small halls, mate. You know, it's hard to beat, but a lot of these guys kind of just clinch points, wins time after time after time, and that's not how you establish yourself, and that's not how you create a brand for yourself. You need to go out there and look good, and hopefully they'll get opponents that will let them do that. No,
you're right. It's a good point, actually. You think about it, you know, there's a lot of prospects out there. What these guys need to do is make themselves stand out, isn't it? And this is the platform for it. I'm pretty sure it will be the undercard sort of on Box Nation beforehand anyway. So yeah, this is their opportunity. So yeah, you're right. Hopefully they go in and knock some people over and look good doing it. Dubois was a little bit too wild last time out for me.
Yeah, but I thought it was a step up in opposition. He went from fighting the first geezer to fighting a boy who medalled in the Commonwealths and represented his country in the Olympics. So it was a step up, but I totally hear what you're saying. I think he was just trying to look good on TV. Who do you think from the undercard fighters? I know Boy Jones Boy Jones Jr.'s on there, a good fighter as well. I know you spoke to him earlier on today.
Yeah, I spoke to him today. He's a good lad, and he's 20 years old, man. You know,
what a fight that was. What a fight, his last fight.
What a fight that was, and he's convinced that fight's turned him into a man, and he's learned, you know. Listen, it's a... You know, anyone can listen to the interview and go back and see the things he says, but just summing it up, I think he hits the nail on the head. You'd rather, you know, his learning fight at this stage when he's learning at 19, 20 years old than, you know, if he got to British or, you know, European or whatever level. So hopefully he learns from that and gets down the gym, and what he's been doing in the gym rather he can put into, you know, into the ring.
Who do you think of those early boys that we've mentioned, your Lerones, Lucians, Boy Jones, who's got the potential to steal the show on the undercard that night, do you think?
I'm a big fan of Lerone Richards. He's quite silky. Yeah, I like Lerone. I mean, listen, Dubois can bang and knocks people over, so everyone loves a heavyweight, don't they?
Yeah.
But I think it would be too obvious to say Dubois, to be honest, because he's getting a lot of hype and buzz around him, and he's been fighting recently. So, looking at the guys that I've seen fight a few times in their early stage of their career, I like Lucian. I want to see how well he looks under Booth. Obviously was with Peter Sims before, so he's been in some great camps, and now he's in that fucking gym, the Booth gym that we touched on in our video a few weeks back with all these killers. So I'm pretty sure he's going to look amazing as well.
So am I right in saying that Lerone Richards is currently in the iBox, training with Bradley Ski, Darryl Williams, and that camp?
Yeah, that's right. That's his gym. And obviously they're on a high now with Darryl Williams winning the English off Jermaine Smile. So they're doing well, man. Like, there's some good gyms like we touched on, and these are really good guys that are good prospects, man. And that, you know, with Skeet and Darryl Williams, an English and a British champion in his gym, I'm sure he's going to be eager to impress and get up to that level himself.
Yeah, definitely.
So as we look
I've not
through,
seen a lot.
Yeah, go on, mate.
I was just going to say, I've not seen a lot of Lerone myself, but you know, obviously I've spoke to you about him, and I know you rate him quite highly, and you rate his ringmanship on a different level a little bit. So it'll be good to see him. It'll be good to see how he progresses. Same with a lot of these guys that we see coming through on the fringes of these shows now. It'll be good to see, for want of a better phrase, who makes the cut and who kind of fizzles out. You know, it's always good to see how that works out. Yeah,
definitely. Do you know there's another good fight on the card? Aaron Morgan is fighting Joe Pigford. Both of them 12-0.
Good fight.
Have you seen a lot of these boys?
Yeah, I've seen Pigford from Southampton, right?
Yeah, down in Adams.
Pigford can scrap, man.
Yeah.
That's a good fight, and I know Aaron Morgan, as well as being a boxer, he writes on boxing as well. So he writes a lot of kind of articles and blogs and all that sort of stuff on boxing. That's a good fight, man. That's a tough fight to call.
Yeah, so he's a Helliot boy, Aaron Morgan. I've seen him on a couple of Helliot shows in the last, year or so. And I think he's a guy that's going to raise his performances for the opposition. Every time I've seen him, he looks very... like he dispatched of his guys handily, you know what I mean? He won every fight I've seen him have, clearly, obviously, but I think he's probably got more skills that we haven't seen, and I'm pretty sure that will be brought out of him by Pigford, you know, someone who's a little bit of a higher quality than he's fought.
That's a really good fight, actually.
It is. I'd forgot about it. That's probably gone under the radar a little bit, to be honest with you, that fight.
Yeah, definitely.
As we move up, British... Oh, do you know Sammy McNess is on the card, actually? Well, I remember. Have you heard a lot about him?
Nope. Nothing at all. It sounds like something I should have heard of because it sounds very Scottish.
I think he's a West Ham boy. He's got quite a good following. A lot of local fans coming to see him.
Okay. Well, it's good. It's good that these guys are getting on the bills as well. And I think Frank Warren... That's what Frank Warren has to do. For me, Frank Warren has to get these guys at the early stage, and as we touched on before, he has to start establishing some characters. You know, you look at you look at the Matchroom boys, and they've already got characters established. Even guys that they've been bringing through recently, like O'Hara Davis and boys like that, they've got characters there that are going to sell tickets. And if Frank's going to go into this BT Sports thing, he's got to start doing that, and he's got to see who evolves and who becomes a ticket seller and who becomes either a fan's favourite or somebody the fans want to see get beat. So it's good that these young guys are getting a chance to come through and do that.
Yeah, who as you look through their stable, who do you think could be, a standout star maybe?
I think Anthony Yard could be potentially a sensation.
Yeah.
I think. We need to look. We need to see how his physicality is, and how his cardio endurance is over 10 rounds, 12 rounds. But for me, the way that he prepares himself, the way that he throws his shots, his combinations, the speed for a boy that size, I think he's a dangerous proposition, man. And I like Chris Hobbs. I think Chris Hobbs is a good fighter. But for me, Anthony Yard could be not even just the fighting. Like, take the fighting is one thing. Look, he's a fashionable dude. He's so fashionable. He's stylish. He's got the look. He's got the physique. He's got an Anthony Joshua type physique where women are loving it, casuals are loving it. And when he gets more exposure, and when people start to follow on Instagram and follow him on Twitter and all that sort of stuff, people are loving it, and they're going to gravitate towards him, even the casuals, as they do with Joshua right now. I think he's got a lot of potential, man.
I think you're right. I think he stands out for me, Anthony Yard. He kind of is the total package. I mean, the only question mark is what I end up saying about a lot of prospects is we don't know what he's like when he's hurt. Again, you can use that to your blue in the face, can't you, really? Because he's been knocking people over with so much ease, apparently. It just looks so easy for him. And he's really down to earth. He's really chill. He never gets above his station. He's well spoken, for where he's from. You know what I mean? I think he's a good lad, and I think you're right. I think he could be a big name out of this country.
When you look at their stable now, when you look at the BT Sports guys and the Frank Warren guys, they don't really have that. Like, they don't have a crossover star, and they don't have anybody who's doing that. So, the biggest stars, Flanagan and Billy Joe Saunders, and they're anything but crossover stars. They're anything but transitional from a hardcore boxing fan to a casual fan. Billy Joe's, people like Billy Joe's boxing ability. He's quite a polarising figure. You either really like him or really don't like him, I think, in terms of his presence on social media and how he conducts himself. And Tommy Flanagan, God bless him, is just a quiet, hard-working champion. He's not got much personality. He's not had much media exposure. So they're fucking hungry for a personality.
Yeah.
They need that. And I don't know if you have any ideas on if it's not Yard, because Yard is very composed and very sensible and hard-working and stuff. If it's not him, who is it?
Which is crazy, right? When you consider his best friends with O'Hara Davis.
Yeah, do you think he could be taking lessons?
Do you know what I mean? I just don't think it's his personality to sort of be. I've never seen him be insulting to an opponent or anything.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know enough about the personalities of the guys up north. I mean, a lot of the Frank Warren guys that I've spoke to down this way, Lerone Richards, chilled out, just chilled and goes about his work. Boyd Jones Jr., very young, learning his trade, chilled out, very respectful. Lucian Reed, exactly the same, learning his craft under a great trainer, keeping his mouth shut and doing the training, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And does Dubois have it in him to be a little bit more braggadocious, maybe a bit more arrogant, a bit more, I don't know, insulting to certain people I don't know. It's hard to come out of your personality to be something in front of the public that you're not. Maybe they just haven't found that guy yet.
Yeah, I think they better do it soon.
You reckon? You're not a big fan of what they're dishing out at the minute?
It's not that I'm not a big fan. I think the cards have been fine. I think some of the fights have been fine. There is nothing drawing me. The only thing that's drawing me to this card is Gervonta Davis. There's nothing pulling me in and going, fucking subscribe to BT Sports, subscribe to Box Nation. We need to see this. We can't miss this card. And for me, that's what you need to do when you're looking to step up and you're looking to match somebody like Sky Sports Boxing or somebody like Matchroom or whatever the case may be. You have to be prepared. And it surprises me a little bit that Frank's not sculpted more personality out of his fighters, or he's not given them more PR. Or I don't know what it is, man. I don't have all the answers. I'm just sitting here on my bed, on my leopard print bed sheets, pretending I know the fucking ins and outs of boxing. I don't, but it seems a bit strange to me that he's put a lot of his eggs in the one basket with Billy Joe. Billy Joe's a great boxer, but Billy Joe's very rarely in shape when he's not got a fight coming up.
Yep, it's fair.
He's put a lot of eggs in one basket with Tommy Langford, man. He put a lot of eggs in a basket with Tommy Langford, and Tommy Langford got stopped in 4 or 5 rounds by a guy that we hadn't really known much about. So, yeah, I think there's definitely room to establish a bit of character within his stable.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big point, because nowadays, you did a wonderful article, excellent article on casuals, and
thanks.
If you sit and watch a Frank Warren show, you're only watching the boxing. Do you understand what I mean? There's no spectacle to it. There's no showmanship of any of the fighters and personalities, as we've just said. It is just the fighting. Now, that should be enough. Maybe it is for me, but it's not going to be for a guy that watches boxing once every month or two, because he's going to look over on Sky Sports and go to the events and fucking Sweet Caroline going off on one and shit. Do you know what I mean? It's sad, but it's true. I think nowadays you need to make it as much of an entertainment show as a boxing show.
If you want to keep it, I think if you want to keep it as successful as it's been recently, you have to do what you just said there is absolutely spot on. I mean, you have to make it an event. You have to make it a thing. It's not just I'm really into 10-point must scoring systems. Do you know what I mean? You're not going there for that. You're going there because you want to see guys fight. You're interested in the character. And the prime, a lot of guys lose their mind when I bring up MMA examples. The prime example is, if Conor McGregor fights in the UFC, everybody's watching that fight, man. Everybody's watching it. MMA fans from 10 years ago, MMA fans from 2 weeks ago, they're all watching the fight. And it's more, that should be a clear indicator that it's more about entertainment now. Package, fight week, the weigh-in, all that sort of stuff. You have to be making sure you're building that as much as you're building anything else. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. It just feels like they're missing something.
Yeah.
And I really wanted something a little bit different when this BT launched, with the Box Nation partnership. Something a little bit different. I don't know what, but listen, mate, they're still learning themselves. It's their very early stages.
It's early days.
And I think we just have to give them the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully this card does it. The main, give me a prediction for the young boys we just spoke of. Do you think they'll all get their work done handily, and then up to Hobbs and Yard for the Southern Area title?
I would expect all those guys to win pretty handily. Morgan, Pigford, tough one. I'd probably go Morgan. I think Adam Morgan can probably get that done. But that's a scrap that could go anyway. That's not, no disrespect to Joe Pigford. He's a good fighter as well. Chris Hobbs has got his work cut out against Anthony Yard. I think all going well, Anthony Yard disposes of Chris Hobbs. I don't want to say comfortably, because I think it's unfair to Hobbs, but I think Yard looks good in that fight. I think, if Hobbs can take him a few rounds, that'll be an interesting fight. Hopefully he can do that, because he deserves it, and he's a good family guy. He's a fucking hard worker. But I think Yard's got enough to beat him quite comfortably. And then if we move on Like, moving on to the main event.
Do you know you got Ryan Walsh? He's fighting for the British featherweight title as well, isn't he?
Oh, on the same card as his brother?
Yeah, he's fighting Marco McCulloch.
So he is, the Irish boy.
Yeah, for the British featherweight. By the way,
Marco McCulloch's alright.
I can't think of any of his fights, to be fair. Has he fought anyone of any names? Or anyone that was an impressive victory?
We'd maybe know, but I know he's ranked top 10 or top 15 with a couple of governing bodies.
I think he got beat by Isaac Lowe. I remember Isaac Lowe beating him. That's probably the only name I can remember, to be honest. Maybe I'm doing him a disservice, but I remember he fought Isaac Lowe, and he got stopped.
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of fights since then. Listen, I might be wrong. All I know is I was doing the breakout series, and his name was one of the names that popped up on guys who are ranked top 10 or top 15 with some governing bodies, Marco McCulloch. So, decent fight. You would expect Ryan Walsh to probably get it done, but it's got potential to be a good fight.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd go with Ryan Walsh. And then we go up to the main one, Mr. Gervonta Davis.
Talk to me, I would like you, because I could sit here and fucking ramble all day. Talk to me about your thoughts on Gervonta Davis, because I'm a massive fan, and I want to know how you rate him at this early stage.
I didn't know a lot about him until you told me, get on this motherfucker. Have a look at this boy. And I looked him up, and it was, I think, just before he won the title against Pedraza. I'm pretty sure it was just before that, wasn't it? And looking at him, he's good, man. He's slick, but do you know what he is as well? He's a personality. He's a young, braggadocious young man. Is he Baltimore, any? Tough upbringing. And, you know, he's part of the money team, obviously. Mayweather's put in a lot of investment into him. And they think really highly of him. They think they're going to get, you know, some good fights out of him, I guess. 16 out of his 17 wins by knockout at 22 years old in the featherweight division, or super featherweight division rather. You know, he can bang.
That's that weight. Like, a lot of people look at that and go, okay. But when you consider that weight, you know, there's not a lot of knockouts that go on in those lighter weight divisions, or not as many as there are in the heavy division. So to do that at that weight, tremendous. And the biggest thing for me when I watched him against who did he fucking just, I forget the guy's name.
Pedraza.
Stephen Smith. It's Jose Pedraza, sorry, IBF champion, or ex-IBF champion. And when he fought him, I thought he started beautifully, man. Gervonta Davis. I thought, this guy's untouchable. He's unreal. And then I seen Pedraza, I think it was the 6th round or the 7th round, just before the stoppage, the round or two before the stoppage, Pedraza starts putting it on him, and he's doing all these mad sounds like, woo, woo, like fucking just Ric Flairing him, man, the whole time. And I thought this boy's shot, he's loaded, man. Pedraza's coming back, he's picking him off, and it gets to about 30 seconds left in the round, and if anybody wants to go back and watch it, they can check it out. 30 seconds left in the round, Davis looks like he's been taking a lot of shots, and about 30 seconds left, he just puts his hands down, just waves them on and goes, yep, come, let's go, and then just starts picking them off with some serious bangs again. He's got a lot of personality, and I don't think he fears anything at all. I think, you know, we touched on his upbringing. I don't think he gives a fuck about anybody in that division above that. I don't think he cares, man. I think he wants to go out and fight, and he wants to make money and do what he does best. And I think Mayweather will build him up and try and add to his if you like, but I don't think that's him. I think him is just going out with big shots, man, and I'm a really, really big fan. I think he's got a massive future.
Time will tell. You picking him over Walsh?
Absolutely. I like Walsh. Walsh is good, man. Walsh is very good. I think this boy's got something special, man. Look how easily battered Pedraza, and Pedraza picked apart Stephen Smith. And Stephen Smith's a good fighter. So
Stephen Smith had Joe Gallagher in his corner, though. So luck was not on his side that night.
That's very true. It was the start of the downfall, wasn't it?
It was. It's all gone Pete since then. So
yeah, I see. I fancy Gervonta Davis to win that fight, and then I fancy him to fight Kevin Palmer.
Oof.
I fancy that to be fucking extraordinary, man.
What a fight that would be. I'm still hoping to get a sit down with Gervonta when he gets over here. That would be fucking epic.
Let's do it. Yeah. Set it up.
Definitely. Well,
what do you think? What's your prediction for that one?
I'm going Gervonta. I just think he's too. It's insulting to Walsh, isn't it? Like I don't want to insult him. Do you know what I mean? Because he's an unbeaten guy as well, but he doesn't ever do anything amazing for me. He's very good at everything. And I just think at this level, I don't think he'll be able to deal with what Gervonta can bring, which I think he's got a lot of different tools. We probably haven't seen the best of Gervonta. He's 22 years old. Do you know what I mean? There'll be things he's learning that we won't have even seen yet. So I can't look past Gervonta Davis, and as much as I'd like Walsh to do it, I can't see it. I just can't.
Do you think that's a problem? Do you think that's a problem for fighters in the UK? Because it's a kind of...
Kind of what?
Well, the fighters don't do anything exceptional, but do a lot of stuff very well. Do you know what I mean? We spoke about it before. We spoke about Ricky Barnes. Speak about Walsh now. Speak about even some world champions of past or challengers of present. They don't do one thing exceptionally, and I don't know why it is. Is that the way we're saying it? We're saying people would be very, very good at all the fundamentals, and we're kind of lacking a bit of flair, you know, or is that just the people that we have in this era?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a hard to answer question. We'd have to get a top trainer on and possibly ask them that question. I know what you mean. Obviously, power is natural. You can train for power, but there's guys like we touched on Yard who just have insane, just God-given gifts in his fists that they just seem to explode off people's fucking chins. But yeah, I know what you mean. But then again, someone like George Groves, I think his jab, he from an early day, he always had a very good jab, but now it's one of the best weapons in British boxing. And I guess that's through training and through just complete hard work. So there are.
If you look at the characters in, like, pound for pound top tens, just to be subjective, if you're looking at a guy like a Lomachenko, you're looking at a guy like a Terence Crawford, you're looking at a guy like an Andre Ward. We don't have fighters like that. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't have. I know we're opening another kettle of fish. Is that a phrase?
Yeah, kettle of fish. Yeah.
Who puts fucking fish in the kettle? We're opening another kettle of fish, but we don't seem to have those guys who have that independent style, who have their own way of doing things. We always seem to produce fighters who do the fundamentals very well, and I wonder why that is. It'd be interesting to maybe look at it in the future. Anyway, sorry to digress.
No, listen, I love a bit of digression. Is that a word? Digression? Who knows?
That's a word.
Listen, great card. I'm pissed off you're out of the country because we're hoping to get a meet up with all the boys. New Age Boxing, shout out Martin, Terry Chappendama from the Seven Wolves, all the boys. Hoping to get.
They do crack me up, man.
I love their podcast, man. I
can sit there. I'll go on the bus I was on a bus to work and I was listening to the podcast, and I think Terry said, "This is 2 hours long. If you're on the way to work, or if you're in work, just go home or don't go on the phone in sick or something like that." And I'm fucking, dude, I was thinking about it. I thought, fuck. Might just do it, man. Maybe the bank will run itself today.
Yeah, fuck it.
But no, those guys are putting in extreme work and they do it with a lot of personality, and I love listening to their stuff. So massive shout out to them as well.
Definitely. Well, this has been Fight Talk. FightTalk.net. Check out the website. Check out all the interviews with the fighters from the card, and a hell of a lot more content to come. So make sure you like. And be sure to like and subscribe for future content. Thanks for listening.